Imagine you are playing a board game. The rules say you are winning. Your score is higher than ever. Everyone around the table is cheering. But quietly, under the table, you are selling your future just to keep playing. That is not a game. That is the American middle class in 2025. The stock market hit 39 record highs in a single year. Retirement accounts look fatter than ever on paper. Politicians are calling it a golden age. But behind that golden curtain, something terrifying is happening. Emergency withdrawals from 401k retirement accounts have exploded by 365%. People are not doing this because things are great. They're doing this because they are desperate. They are cracking open the one piggy bank they were never supposed to touch, paying a 10% penalty fee on top of heavy taxes, just to survive the next 30 days. So I have one question for you. If America is so wealthy, why are millions of people quietly burning their own futures? By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why. And more importantly, you will understand whether you are on the safe side of the wall or the side that is already on fire. Do not go anywhere, because the answer is going to change the way you see money forever. Let me tell you about a trick that numbers play on people. It's called the average, and it might be the most dangerous word in the English language. Here's what the headlines tell you. The average 401k retirement balance in America is $144,000. That sounds okay, right? If you have $144,000 saved for retirement, you're not rich, but you're not desperate either. You can breathe. But here's what the headlines do not tell you. The median balance is only $38,000. Now, what's the difference between average and median? Let me make it simple. Imagine 10 kids at lunch. 9 of them have $1 each, but one kid has $1,000. The average amount of money those kids have is over $100, but most of them only have $1. The rich kid is dragging the average up and making everyone look wealthier than they actually are. That is exactly what's happening in America right now. The top 29% of retirement savers have so much money that they are pulling the average up for everyone else. But the other 71%, the true majority of the middle class, are sitting with balances far closer to $38,000. That is not a retirement fund. That is about 8 months of average living expenses in America today. But wait, it gets worse. Between 2020 and 2024, inflation quietly stole 17.8% of your purchasing power. Think about that. If you had $100 in your wallet in 2020, it could only buy around $82 worth of goods by 2024. Groceries, rent, gas, everything went up, but your paycheck did not keep up. During the pandemic, the government sent out stimulus checks and people saved like crazy. Economists called it excess savings. By 2020, Americans had built up a $2.1 trillion cushion. That sounds enormous, and for a while it protected people. It was like a wall between the middle class and disaster. That wall is completely gone now. It was fully wiped out by early 2023. So picture this. You had a cushion. Inflation slowly deflated it. Then prices kept rising. Then the cushion disappeared entirely. And now there's nothing between you and the hard floor except one thing: your retirement fund. This is why the withdrawals exploded. This is not people making bad decisions. This is people who have no other options. Studies show that 66% of those making emergency 401k withdrawals are doing so for just 2 reasons: to avoid being evicted from their homes or to pay crushing medical bills. These are not luxuries. These are survival expenses. And here's the part that makes this even more disturbing. The government looked at this crisis and said, okay, we'll help. They passed something called the Secure 2.0 Act. Under this new law, you can now withdraw up to $1,000 from your 401k for emergencies without paying the usual tax penalty. It sounds kind, it sounds like relief, but think about what it actually does. It doesn't fix the reason people are desperate. It doesn't bring rents down. It doesn't make medical bills smaller. It simply makes it easier and slightly cheaper to dig into your retirement account. They didn't repair the hole in the boat. They just gave you a slightly better bucket to bail water with. And the boat is still sinking. The real question is not why people are withdrawing their retirement savings early. By now, that should make complete sense. The real question is what happens next, because a much bigger wave is coming, and almost nobody is talking about it. That wave has a name, and it's disguised as something that is supposed to help you.
Here is something that sounds like great news. A proposal is on the table to cap credit card interest rates at 10%. Right now, the average credit card in America charges somewhere between 20 and 30% interest every year. If you carry a $5,000 balance, you could be paying over $1,000 a year just in interest. That is not paying off what you owe. That is just paying to keep the debt alive. So capping rates at 10% sounds like a dream. It sounds like the government finally standing up for regular people against the big banks. But here is the terrifying part. Major bank executives, including the CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase, one of the largest banks in the world, are calling this proposal an economic disaster. Not for the banks, for you. Why would a lower interest rate be a disaster for regular people? Let me explain this the way a simple machine works. Banks are in the business of lending money and getting paid back with interest. The interest rate is how they get paid. Now, when they lend money to someone who is reliable, someone with a great credit score and a stable income, the risk is low. The bank is fairly confident they will get their money back, so they are comfortable charging a lower rate. But when they lend money to someone who is a higher risk, someone who has missed payments before or who has a lot of existing debt, the bank is less sure they will get paid back, so they charge a higher interest rate to compensate for that risk. Now, remove the ability to charge high rates. Tell every bank in America that no matter who they lend to, they can only charge 10%. What do the banks do? They stop lending to risky borrowers entirely. It is not personal, it is math. If a bank cannot charge enough interest to cover the risk of someone not paying them back, they simply will not take that risk. They will only lend to people they are almost certain will repay them perfectly. And how do banks measure that certainty? With a number, a credit score. Right now, experts predict that if a 10% credit card rate cap goes into effect, banks will draw a hard line at a credit score of 740. If you are at 740 or above, you're fine. Your cards stay active, you still have access to credit. If you are below 740, your card gets canceled, just like that. No warning, no grace period, just gone. Here's why that number should terrify you. The average American credit score is around 715. That means the average American falls below that 740 line. We are not talking about a small group of people. We are talking about potentially 180 million Americans who could lose access to their credit cards in a very short period of time. Now, think about what credit cards actually are for most middle-class families. They are not luxury tools. They are the second safety net. When an unexpected expense hits, a car repair, a broken appliance, a sudden medical visit, people put it on the card. They deal with it now and pay it off over a few months. It is not perfect, but it is a lifeline. Take that lifeline away from 180 million people all at once. Where do they turn? There is only one place left, the retirement account. This is the chain reaction that almost nobody is connecting right now. Credit rates get capped, banks cut off lower-score customers, tens of millions of people lose their credit lifeline overnight. With no savings cushion already gone and no credit card available, the only asset left is the 401k. Emergency withdrawals, already up 365%, could explode into something far beyond anything we have seen before. And the brutal irony?
The people who will be hit hardest are the ones the credit card cap was supposed to help. The people who were paying 25% interest because they had no other options. They were not irresponsible, they were surviving, and the law designed to save them might be the one that pushes them over the edge. So the middle class is not disappearing slowly, it is being cut in half with a very precise blade. On one side, people above 740 who own stocks, hold credit, and are watching their wealth grow. On the other side, everyone below that line, watching each safety net disappear one by one. The stock market is not measuring your financial health, it is measuring theirs.
Now you know the trap. The question is whether you are going to sit in it or get out of it. Let me be very direct with you. I am not here to scare you into doing nothing. Fear without action is just paralysis. What I am going to give you right now is a clear, simple roadmap based on where the walls are actually being built. The first thing you need to do is find out exactly where you stand with your credit score. Not roughly, exactly. Because right now, the difference between 720 and 740 is the difference between keeping your credit access and losing it entirely. You can check your score for free through multiple services. Do it this week, not someday, this week. If your score is below 740, your single most important financial move right now is raising it. This sounds hard, but the actual steps are simple. Pay your bills on time every single time, even if it is just the minimum. Keep your credit card balances below 30% of your total limit. Do not open new credit accounts you do not need right now. These 3 habits alone, done consistently over 6 to 12 months, can move your score significantly. This is not about gaming a system. This is about building a bridge before the current one gets demolished. The second thing you need to do is treat your 401k like it is behind bulletproof glass. It should be the last thing you touch, not the first. Every time someone dips into that account early, they lose the penalty fee, they lose the income taxes, and most importantly, they lose the compounding growth that money would have earned for the next 20 or 30 years. A $10,000 withdrawal today could cost you $80,000 or more in lost future wealth. So before you touch your retirement account, exhaust every other option. Negotiate a payment plan with a medical provider. Call your landlord before you miss a payment. Look into local emergency assistance programs. Cut any recurring subscription you have not used in the last 30 days. Sell something. Borrow from a friend or family member if that relationship can handle it. These options feel uncomfortable, but they are all better than the 401k trap. The third thing is to build even a small emergency fund and treat it as sacred. I know this sounds impossible when money is already tight, but even $500 to $1,000 sitting in a separate savings account changes your brain and your behavior. It means that the next small crisis does not immediately become a catastrophe. Start with $10 a week if that is all you have. The amount matters less than the habit. The fourth thing is to stop measuring your financial health by what the stock market is doing. The S&P 500 hitting record highs is completely irrelevant to you if you do not own meaningful amounts of stock. For the bottom half of American households, the stock market might as well be a sports score for a team you do not play on. Your real financial health is measured by your monthly cash flow, your debt load, your credit access, and the balance of your emergency fund. Focus on those numbers, not the Dow Jones. And finally, understand the two worlds that are forming right now and decide with full clarity which side you want to be on. World 1 is people who own assets, stocks, real estate, business equity. These people benefit when prices rise because their assets rise with them. Inflation is annoying to them but manageable. World 2 is people who are renting their financial life, renting their home, carrying credit card debt, relying on a paycheck with no buffer. For these people, inflation is not annoying, it is a slow, quiet destruction of everything they have built. The path from World 2 to World 1 is not quick, but it is clear. It starts with protecting the assets you already have, which means your retirement account and your credit access. Then it means slowly, one decision at a time, moving from renting your financial life to owning pieces of it. You now know what most people around you do not. You know that the average number is a lie. You know that the safety nets are disappearing one by one. You know that a new law could eliminate credit access for 180 million people. And you know that the retirement crisis is not caused by laziness or poor choices. It is caused by a system where the floor keeps getting raised and the ladders keep getting pulled up. That knowledge is your real first asset. Now use it, because the people who survive what is coming are not going to be the ones who hoped it would not affect them. They're going to be the ones who saw the wall being built and got to the other side before the gate closed. The gate is still open, but not for much longer.